wheelie right here. All right, so far I spent maybe 25 bucks on gas, assuming 30 miles to the gallon and $4 $4 a gallon. Say 6 gallons and 180 miles of riding. And I'm having fun. This is fun now that you start to get the bike under control. You start to understand what the hell you're doing, you know, and get your feel back. When you're worried about wrecking, it's not fun. When you're hating life in general, it's not fun. So sometimes you just need to slow down and gather your bearings. Having said that, anyway, so I was saying that assuming no other negative results, you could basically countersteer. When I say countersteer hard, I don't mean suddenly or sharply. I mean by pushing the bar hard enough to get the bike to stand up perfectly straight and go around the corner. But why would the bike stand up perfectly straight and go around a corner? That's the question. I would assume that there's an optimal amount of counter steering to use to get the bike to achieve any lean angle. And then what the optimal lean angle would depend on the radius of the curve and the cornering speed. And if you counter steer more than that, you are attempting to make the bike do something unnatural, just as if you don't counter steer enough. So if there's a symmetry to this, it would be that if insufficient countersteer results in at least a low slide on the back end, then excessive countersteer would result in a washout on the front. Which what I would assume that is more of a phenomenon you have to worry about at, again, extreme cornering angles. It just seems a little counterintuitive to have to worry about either one. This bike is handling like a dream now. I've got my legs back on it. I've got my coordination back. Everything seems to be good, and we're just kicking down the road here. I haven't even stopped to get breakfast yet. I didn't even stop to get off the bike at the last stop. It just felt so good I didn't want to stop. So I know I'm going to be in pain shortly. I think we'll easily make it up to Albany if that's where we're going. Massachusetts Turnpike. So we're not even past. Well, we're okay. So I guess we're at Massachusetts then. We passed Connecticut. I'm going to be tempted to go left and swing back down. Oh my God, we are here, buddy. That was easy, I have to admit. That was not hard. Even on this supposedly back-breaking motorcycle, that was not hard at all. Once you get used to actually riding again, and it took me maybe about 10 miles, 15 miles to get used to riding, it was easy. Again, the key is find your speed where you're comfortable. Work up to your level of comfort or whatever speed you want to ride at. Work up to it. Be comfortable. Get control of everything. Get some corner markers in terms of what speed you're going to make the corners before you get there, and just have a good time. Relax. Don't go in there, scaring the shit out of yourself. You're scaring the shit out of yourself. You're going too fast. Number one, you slow down, figure out what your technique's issues, and then speed up. That was easy. I think I would have easily made it up there in one shot to Lake George, but we've got a long way to go. We can't be racing. Howdy. Oops, sorry. So I guess you need my card, right? Yes, my card, the little card. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that. Okay. There you go. Thank you. Look at the size of that truck. All right, so next I want to talk about gear, since we just flipped our gloves on. Now I've got these lightweight gloves on. I mean, these are just, shop gloves right now, really. I don't expect them to provide much protection if I go down. Likewise, my jeans, I'm wearing a pair of jeans. They're cotton jeans. Nothing more. And I won't say casual jacket, just like a heavy, well, medium weight corduroy jacket, I guess, for lack of a better term. So now I call this protection in the sense that it protects me from the wind, cold, debris, which you definitely need to take into consideration is debris, bugs, stuff like that. It doesn't protect me from asphalt. I'm not expecting it to protect me from asphalt. If I don't expect anything to say, you go sliding down the road at, I have to beep that out, won't I? Sliding down the road at 65 miles an hour, we're going to protect you. Because I personally am not going to rely on gear to do that. I'm going to rely on my brain to do that. I don't think that it makes sense to ride a motorcycle and go, oh, I need to wear leathers in case I get into an accident. Because I can't control whether I'm going to get into an accident or not. If that's your attitude, please get off of your motorcycle, park it, and get off of it. Because you're just riding into the inevitable accident. Which you admit that you're riding into. But your thing is, oh, I'm going to keep riding because if I do get to an accident, I won't get road rash. You go, no, you won't get road rash, but you'll still get broken bones. You'll still get busted up. Your bike will still get shitted. And you can get killed easily. The fact that you don't have road rash is the least... it's significant. I'm not going to say it's not significant. It is significant. But it's far from the most significant concept of an accident. You need to make sure you don't wreck, first and foremost. And I hate to say that people who wear gear let their gear do their thinking for them. I'm sure there's some people who wear gear that don't think at all. You know, I don't think it matters. I think if you just need to keep your ass on the bike, and that's your biggest concern. So to me, success in riding a motorcycle is all about focusing on staying upright, all about focusing on riding safely, and then enjoying the ride once you're safe. Enjoying the safeness of the ride, in a sense, even. And so, how can you do that if you're not wearing leathers? I said, because you're not safe when you're wearing leathers. That doesn't make you safe. That does not make you a safe rider. There's so much more. Back there, I could have easily said, okay, I'm wearing leather, so if I go down at 75 miles an hour, it won't be a total disaster. Yes, it would be if you go down at 75 miles an hour for two reasons, aside from the obvious. The first reason is, when you're sliding, your coefficient of friction is much less. Obviously, if you're not losing skin to the road, you're losing leather to the road. The leather has less traction than your skin with regards to the road. You're gonna slide, and you're gonna slide like a hockey puck on ice. Second thing is, that's assuming you don't tumble, which is, you know, an option you don't even want to think about is tumbling at 75 miles an hour. Second thing is, doing 63 miles an hour, man. I hope nobody creeps up behind me. Talking about safety. The second thing is, you don't want to hit anything at 70 miles an hour. Remember? That's the other problem. So you put the two together, and going around a turn in a risky manner where you might wreck is triple stupid, because you can easily slide right off the road into a guardrail at 75 miles an hour. Not sure if I'm doing 47 on a road like this, you know, and I go sliding over there, it's probably not going to be a huge big deal. But if I had slid a little earlier, I could have got hit by that car. I could slide into that telephone pole. You know, I don't see wearing leather as being any more than 5% of the issue. Because I do not want to be on my ass in the first place. I'm sorry. And the moment you start forgetting that and start thinking about you're safe because you're wearing leathers, you're on a wrong trip to a bad place. This guy's right on my ass, man. I just cruise along, and sure enough, there's a car right on my ass. We're gonna have to pull over here and let him by or something. Especially in this 30-mile-an-hour zone. We made it to Albany. I'm sorry, man, I'm doing 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour, and it's a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Just be glad I'm not from North Carolina. I would be doing 30, literally, in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Doing 15 over. So, I would like to start an initiative. I'm going to start an initiative. I forget about this brake light initiative. I would start the safe riding initiative. And my thing is, oh, this isn't going to be good. Rensselaer. We're not taking that exit, buddy. I guess we could have. I thought it was construction. Ooh, almost gonna let that one get away. So I missed that one because I thought the road was under construction. You'll be pulling some wheelies down here, buddy. I I still think that's funny. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the concentration, but I've just seen so many guys wreck pulling wheelies lately. It's just crazy. I guess it's funny and all that shit at the same time. Can't get out of here. I was hoping that we could, oh fuck. I was hoping we could go around it, but this is a dead end. See, I tried to do something simple, which is just flip around in a circle. It looks like we're in a dead end here. Ugh. Oh, this isn't going to be good. I bet we can't get out of here. Nope. We're not going to be able to get out of here. That'd make too much sense. I got to worry about picking up a nail. See, this is fucking shipyards, man. Nail or a piece of glass. Like I'm in some kind of industrial fucking music video. Come on now, there's gotta be a way out of here. Phew, does that stink? Sorry I can't capture the whole differences. I think right's gonna do it, baby. Might get out of here over here. Hey! No thanks to you. That was all seat of the pants navigation right there, buddy. Old school. Whew. All right. Now, oops, that was an almost tosser. Almost a quarter toss. Well, I'd say about a half almost toss. Well, okay, so now, all right, I was about to say, you know, I think that for the overall balance of riding, this bike is going to give you more power than you need most of the time if you really want it, okay, which is good. So you don't need to go overkill like 14R overkill. Busa, and a Busa is not really even that much faster than this, to be honest. And the difference between this and a Busa is the Busa handles much slower, is a noticeably bigger and heavier bike that has slightly more power. It doesn't really have a lot more power, it has more torque, but again, you don't need it, you can't use it anyway, because on the Busa, if you use that torque, all it's going to do is light the back tire up. Plus, if anything is possible, the riding position is even more extreme on a Busa than it is on a sport bike, on a Gixxer. So one of the benefits that you have is ABS on the Busa, which you don't get on the Gixxer because it's a sport bike, not a sport tour, and the Busa will always be able to sell it as a sport tour. It's a nice little sport tour. Nice big sport tour, I should say. Okay, now let's try this again. Broken roads. Gotta be careful. I'm not a big fan of roads under construction, man. Roads under construction always have a nice little nasty thing waiting for you. Boy, this is a sleepy little town. But again, it's comfortable to ride, and that's the important thing. You're comfortable riding, always a good thing. What's up, buddy? I applied to go to school here at RPI, and I was, denied on the basis of my 450 math SAT. It would have been interesting to go to school at RPI versus the school I would actually went to, which had no problem with my 450 SAT, let's put it that way. Alright, so this is the kind of crap that made me take this Gixxer back last time, with this type of angel fine comb hair road last time. It just had no traction on it on either tire. Now it seems to be okay. Alright, so I would say that if you had the Gixxer 600, you would notice that the bike is slightly lighter, and it is 27 pounds lighter. It has slightly less acceleration, and at 4,000 RPM, neither one of them is making any real power. The only difference, I think the major difference you'd see right off the top of the bat is geared much shorter. And I'm cruising along at 4,000 RPM. What was I supposed to do? I just think the major difference you're going to notice is geared much shorter, which to me is more of a problem than a solution. It's geared shorter to make up for the loss of power. It's somewhat cheaper, 12,000 versus 14,000, 15,000, yes. And I mean, as far as ripping around the city and all, the 600 is perfectly adequate. It's just not smooth. And it was not what I wanted to do right there. I'm up there. See, that's one of the situations where just not flying around might have saved my life. Oh man, this thing is definitely, I'm trying not to go fast, and it's the last two times, power brakes. Okay, let's go across the bridge again. I'm following the stupid computer, which seems unable to give me instructions to make the turns in time for me to make the turns. So I think the other thing you have to worry about with a bike is you just have to give yourself more space than you do with a car. I mean, you just don't have the margin for error. And it's so easy to ride into a disaster. You don't have the margin for error. You're not going to want to use it to its full capability. So even if it can brake better than I could brake, or I mean, better than I'm braking, or turn better than I'm turning, I'm not going to want to do that on it. And so if you go around riding like you're driving, you tend to get into situations where you're going too fast with too little space. That leads me to maximum number 15. Leave yourself plenty of space to work with. Don't wait till the last minute to slow down. Don't ride up on their cars, on their trucks, Don't ride as fast as you possibly can in any particular moment, because you never know when suddenly that'll become too fast. Just too fast. That's like the worst place in the world to fucking stop right there. And remember, above all else, look at the damn speed signs. When they tell you how fast to take a turn, don't go flying into a turn 100 miles an hour faster. You gotta say, okay, 10 miles an hour faster maybe. I'm doing 57 miles an hour right now. It's at 50. You basically want to use the fact that the bike has a lot of performance as a cushion. You don't want to go around using that performance all the time on the street. Like, I had no idea that was grooved. I was on it. Not cool. It's like a lot like Rhode Island. Come off these bridges and these immediate turns. All right, number 3, or 14, 15, whatever. Even if you can trail brake, you still want to try to do your braking in a straight line. I'll find out how I'm doing on power. That was a little bit slippery there for some reason. Take it left. Oh, shit. Will you get up there, lady? Come on. This is familiar, this could be like Hagerstown or same kind of bill. I think that New Englanders have polluted our country to a large degree. See the same shit everywhere. It's just like, must we do the same exact thing all over the freaking country? At least all over the East Coast, you know? Same kind of row houses, built right up next to the road. You know, street twirling a basketball. Number 4, number 15, 16, don't break into the back of a car. Break away from it. Look at these. I don't know, man. I just feel like a certain level. This reminds me of Johnstown and plenty of places I can think of. I guess ultimately what it comes down to is poor is poor, man, and you know, trash is trash. This is how it is. They all look the same. Alright, so they painted the lights green. Not sure why. Tell you one thing, man, you ain't missing shit coming up here. It's not this part. At least not this part, man. Right here. That's right, slim walk out there. At least I got the RPI. What would it be like to race up that grass? So that was the scummy part of town, which is, you know, pretty much the same. Towns up and down the East Coast, built around the railroads. Working class folk. Ain't missing nothing. I just think you can tell the difference between, even if you live in a shitty house, you know, how well do you keep it up? It really does come down to that. Does the fact that you live in a house that's in a crappy neighborhood mean that you have to live in a crappy house? No. And that's the big difference. Sometimes people, you know, you just see them move over here, and it's because you got to get away from people like that. At some level, they want to fuck up your shit so that you come down to their level, or just to show you what the fuck life is all about. You know, just life is full of just wrongness. Why that guy's got his head in the bag. Sitting here with his shirt off, just sitting and watching the world go by. Whoops. Whoops. I did not mean to do that. Trust me, my balls are sweating at this point. No signal. See, as we move uphill, why is it, you know, I don't know, it's getting away from the tracks, I guess. Nicer houses. Nicer places. Why is that? I just think it's because as towns grow, the outskirts are open, so people can go buy property, and when they buy property, move away from the tracks, you know, they tend to do a better job of taking care of it, buying better places. Hey, look, Martha, the first time we'll have to cut today. It's not really cutting. You can't cut with these wide-ass mirrors. Oh, this is not too bad. Not as good as we'd like. All right, so how heavy is the clutch? Not heavy. Would it be heavy if it was a Busa or ZX14R? Much heavier. So again, since it's about the same cost as a Busa or 14R, the big thing you give up is ABS. I have to say TC and ABS on this bike, which is probably okay because, again, like I said, don't need to be riding when you need TC and ABS. You be riding it in ways that you need TC or ways that you need ABS. I would like to be able to meter the traction control on a Ducati or a BMW and see just under what, like have a video and have it flash on TC, blah, blah, blah. You know, what is the guy doing at the time it comes on? So instrumentation is an ongoing issue. We hear all this talk about how these advanced bikes have all this technology, all this crap, blah, blah, blah. Why do they have it? Do they have it for good reasons or bad reasons? How much noise does it make when my lip brush against the microphone? Like that. 89 degrees. Not cold. I'm thinking we need to find something to eat here sooner or later. A good idea. A Burger King or a Dunkin' Donuts, which one? This looks pretty empty. And a Walmart. Up. Closed. I don't know what we're gonna do about this chain, man. This chain's gonna be like, definitely need to oil this chain up. Oh, that's a good reason to go to Walmart. I think they had chain lube there. Should we go back and see? All right, that's 2 reasons. Let me think. You really shouldn't ride around with a dead chain.